step away. See how it all pans out. Game number 1.
Ah, that's a really nice set on Wise Venge. That actually looks like, it almost reminds me of like Skyrat's design. Skyrat Mage's design.
You don't
It's a
remember
cool
that one?
set. I actually do not.
Oh, okay.
I have kept the same Venge set since like 2015 or something.
I do like this.
It looks
one.
cool.
It does look cool. It is the whole Skyrath meme, and well, again, there was rumors on Reddit, wasn't there, about the Skyrath Venge Arcanas being up next or some crap like that, which, you know, I'm not a big fan of, Jonathan. I don't like either of these heroes, but doesn't matter. Why? Well, why are you so surprised? Well, what's wrong, John? Why do I have to like Venge or Skyrath?
Sure. Alright, so sure, Venge is kind of static gameplay. It's not the most intense, although sometimes swaps can be, but it's really not. JT, he does it every time, this madman. Jeez. Come on.
I love JT. Yeah, JT's literally become one of my favorite players to cast at this stage. He's just always doing something silly. I do appreciate that. He's an entertainer, Jonathan.
That he is. Something really kicked into gear in the last half of last year here for him. The only thing I can think of is, again, his good old new status in life. Still clumped around these runes.
Nothing to say, we'll back off. Looks like there was a bit of a fight with X-Nova and PYW, but it is going to be a 2-for-2 trade on the bounty runes. An even start for either team. We'll look at into the mid lane. Of course, Setsu is going to be on the mid Pango against Nothing to Say on the mid Slaughter. And I think it should be fairly obvious, but as the levels do come up, it is going to be a pretty challenging lane, I think, for the Pango.
Yeah, it's not going to feel too fun. You've got so much chain control on Nothing to Say, or a good spread of damage on the melee-to-melee matchup. There is your ability for Setsu to play with, and there are ways for Setsu to just run away from the damage with a swash, but Nothing to Say should have really easy control in the lane. And level 3 is going to be the big spike for that one, so Setsu just has to watch out. You can always keep track of the bash strikes, of course, until he has the chain stem available, but it is going to be painful once that connects from Nothing to Say. Should be a pretty fun time, even with a harassment back from Setsu. Of course, River regen once you have Guardian Sprint bonus does feel good for Nothing to Say, so not going to be completely shoved. Taking a look at the bot lane. Lots of damage being traded by the supports already. You've got Neo on the off-lane Mars, and PYW on the line up against X-Nova, and Monet on the Techies Luna.
Oh,
pretty straightforward lane. Oh,
yeah, Why You Smile was one hit away from dying on the Venge. Go on, John. What were you saying about the bottom lane?
straightforward lane. You've got setup for Spear. You are very durable on the Mars. And Luna, again, we've seen this time and time again. She has to go pretty close to the creep wave. So you can always try to play with the God's Rebuke while farming and get some free harassment. The X factor will be X-Nova if he can manage to just keep this nice consistent harass with a sticky bomb out. And that is pretty good slow chip onto a lion. And it is fairly annoying for PYW considering the range X-Nova has for the right-click trades as well.
Of course, it's that final lane, top lane. You are going to have Why You Smile and Shiro against Baboka and JT. Because Why You Smile, you did see him struggling just a little bit earlier on, as he was one hit away from dying, but does manage to survive. The Hoodwink Centaur lane, though, has proven to be quite powerful from the series we have watched. And, even for Shiro with the Sakuchi, you've got to be very careful, because JT's constantly looking for a hoof stomp opportunity onto the Weaver. And even just a rogue bushwhack could really set up quite nicely here onto Shiro. And the Weaver isn't really quite tanky as a hero, so it's just, if you do land the initial stun, to have the follow-up there with JT, it is going to be very hard for Shiro to survive. Especially once JT has the level 2 double edge, I'd say.
It's not going to be that fun for Shiro. At the least, they have invested heavily on the sentries here from Y, so they've cleared out all the sentries in the lane. That could be a problem here for Shiro. Going to be free to farm for the most part until more resources are poured out. So far, laning phase-wise, looking pretty good for G2.iG. All their cores having a great time in farm. Biggest difference has been mid. So like you said, Setsu not having that fun of a time. A 7 CS lead here for Nothing to Say. pretty substantial for the mid lane matchup. And you don't tend to see Pangos in situations where he lags behind by a full creep wave like this.
Yeah, I should make it very clear as well. It's not Setsu's fault. Obviously, they got that ugly kind of last pick here from IG, or rather G2.iG, and well, here we go. Nothing to say. Really, just continuing to apply the pressure onto Setsu. There's just not really much he can do. You know, you're not going to win against a mid-slider as a Pengali. The best you can do is hope to even out. I can respect Setsu at least surviving for now against Nothing to Say, though again, as the levels do come up, it does become a lot more challenging, just purely surviving even.
Yeah, gonna have to get some relief with rotations. They are bringing Y in to try to contest some water rune refills, although you're in the firing line now.
Oh, Setsu's out of mana.
You.
Setsu was out of mana. Nothing to Say could have actually kept chasing. But I suppose with Why You Smile around the corner, probably wasn't worth it. Probably a little bit too risky. He's dominating the lane anyway. He doesn't need the kill. All this CS is going to mean so much more in the future. Setsu will have a bit of relief here with this bottle refill of the water rune, but something tells me it's not going to last too long. Just look at this, John. Half his HP is gone already.
Yep. Just like that, from the full bottle, empty bottle, half HP. Not going to be great. I mean, that move was necessary in the supports as well. It just doesn't do much, even just securing the water rune here for Setsu. And again, every lane for G2.iG just going swimmingly. Top lane, you're getting some really good farm from JT. You're getting that free farm basically on Monet down bot, just able to keep his distance away from the chain stuns that can come out. You are finding just a rough time in trying to match that initial farm here for LGD. I mean, it's not that bad, but you are lagging pretty far behind, especially for Setsu. Like, that has been the worst lane overall here for LGD, and the recovery process for the Pango at least is straightforward. They have some good connections with a roll, so you just kind of need to wait out that level 6 and play it steady here.
Still 0-0. No first blood being drawn yet, surprisingly enough, between these two teams. Landing stage wise, it does feel like you do have G2.iG slowly pulling ahead. Obviously the mid lane we've talked about enough, but even the side lanes. Monet is having a great old time on the Luna, just completely free farming here up against the Mars. New is not having a bad time either, mind you, but then you look at the top lane even. JT's also third in CS, not struggling whatsoever up against the Weaver. So happy days so far for G2.iG. Meanwhile, Setsu's still being just abused here by Nothing to Say. Cannot catch a break. X-Nova even chasing PYW now. Though he is out of mana, but does have some one charges and will commit them. But will miss the sticky bomb. So won't be able to continue. Back to the mid lane, but Boka shows up. But Why You Smile is going to chase him down. So he'll have to back his way out. There's Nothing to Say. He's still threatening the life of Setsu. X-Nova will show up. Setsu does cop the blast off damage. And now the stuns are incoming. Although PYW shows up to boot and Nothing to Say. He is the first one to go down. The support rotations from LGD, they do pay off.
That it does. But it's freeing up these side lanes again for the side of G2.iG to just find that constant farm. It does feel like even that's what Nothing to Say wanted. Sure, he overcommits, he dies, feeds for his blood, but the free farm you're gaining elsewhere is massive. Like, this Luna's just not being stopped. This Centaur is going to have really tight timings, nearly really clean CS from every single side of G2.iG, and Nothing to Say looking for a chase.
Okay, we're trying to mute. Sticky bomb will land. Nice spear pushback onto Nothing to Say, but eventually... Oh, that's a nice earth spike.
Ooh.
PYW again saving the day with the Lion. That's the second core PYW has saved already in this game, number 1. New, I'm sure, is going to be very thankful about that. Poor old NTS just still not able to find himself a kill.
No. I mean, outside of that laning pressure, just getting caught out by the control here has been rather tough for the side of G2.iG in terms of just finding more to build off, but I don't really feel like they're under pressure to play that quick anyway. Like, you do want some initial build-up on basically all of these heroes. You want something more substantial for Nothing to Say. He is going for the blink first into the Echo Saber, so he wants to be that initiation angle for the side of G2.iG. JT just going for the usual Veil as well. They do manage to deny the shield rune, so that will hold Nothing to Say back once more from deeper dives. But even, even despite that death and that movement across the map for Nothing to Say, he still holds a big advantage over this Pango. Like, even with like a minute of space for Setsu, it's just not enough to compensate here.
Top lane, a bit of a group up for Boca. Having a look around. Why you smile is going to force him back. Of all people, News actually at the top of the net worth board here on the Mars. He's just been having an even freer time than everyone else apparently on this hero. Just no contest now down at the bottom lane, just completely alone. We'll have the Vladimir's offering very, very soon. Both sides kind of respecting each other enough to just stay away from each other. It just stacks happening in the dire triangle. Seems like both teams are just happy to farm. No one really getting too excited.
Yeah, I think that's understandable for these kinds of drafts. Like, maybe the launching point for the side of LGD will be like level 6 spikes with an offensive swap or just having Finger available for burst. That could open up more opportunities. Otherwise, you're happy to just build up here. Your Weaver still working onto the Dragonlance for Shiro. Even with the Dragonlance, probably not that point where a Weaver will rotate. I think normally we see like a Javelin timing be what most Weavers before used to gun for into Maelstrom. Nowadays, it's like a Diffusal. We'll have to see with Shiro. This farming pace, this kind of pace of game, though, I would say is, again, marginally better for G2.iG, just because all of you farm really fast. You have really good AoE clear for camps on all of these heroes.
Power Rune's going to spawn up. Oh, that's a great bushwhack! Landing on 2, but it may not matter. They got Setsu out of there with the Rolling Thunder, and now Nothing to Say again. It's been baited into a bad fight. How unfortunate. The rotations from LGD are way too fast. They'll even get Baboka on the hoodwink. Geez, well, 1 second they're making the gank, and the next second LGD's got their whole squad in the mid lane.
Now, real quick response from LGD, and that kill onto Nothing to Say gave those supports the level 6 timer we were talking about. Then you suddenly see the offensive swap and Finger. That was what they were waiting for. They managed to get the overconfident Nothing to Say a little bit too far forward and find some good returns on the side of LGD, allowing some much needed catch-up here for our Pangolier, who again, Setsu is still lagging a little bit far behind, but has recovered a bit. Net worth lead now shifts onto LGD very slightly. They are starting to siege up top here on the side of G2.iG, but it's not necessarily the quickest shove. There's enough time to respond.
Nova, Copper Stun, while you smile, they're going to still be chasers. Even Monet shows up now. Shiro being chased by the Luna. We'll get a Why You Smile eventually. The Shiro able to Sakuchi his way out. Should be alright on the Weaver. They're not going to bother even trying to chase that man down. So the tier 1 top tower is going to drop. Then again, New is just going to focus on the bottom tier 1 tower. Has a pretty big creep wave for it, but X-Nova's going to show up and defend.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The question is, do G2.iG want to rotate and defend this bottom tier 1?
There's some massive heroes from the side of LGD. Don't think you're quite set up for a strong team fight just yet, although Nothing to Say does have his blink coming in now. But he might just go for the... No, not going to go for the stack. So does want to make an instant play with a blink. And the Invis rune as well has some good angles to play now with these items picked up. Of course, there was a ward that spots him and the item, but they will go for the smoke. See if they find a clean target here. They've got enough burst with this initiation on hand.
They are heading down towards the bottom lane though. Nobody really hanging around that area from LGD. We'll head directly east. Still nobody around that area. I think they were hoping to perhaps find Shiro, but Shiro going to be just fine in that dire jungle. Now a bit of a counter smoke from LGD. They'll head towards the west of the map. Up towards the Radiant Triangle they'll go. Lines have been drawn towards the top tier 1 tower, so they may want to go for a gank and move right into that top tier 1. Instead, they'll just hang around the mid lane. Hoping somebody would show on the creep wave, but nobody does.
Are scanning.
LGD is still hanging around that river area. Monet is in the Radiant Triangle, so if they did head there, they probably would find themselves a very nice target. But he eventually will leave, and it seems like G2.iG, or rather LGD, will probably go for the top tier 1. But they do look very...
Middle tower is under attack.
Well, now they split up. I'm not sure what they're trying to do here, John.
Yeah, I think it's just, you know, a little bit lost when the smoke doesn't quite pan out. They don't have cross-river vision all too lined up here on the side of LGD. And just figured someone would try to come into them on that area in the top jungle, but no one does, so they just go back to farm. A rather slow game today. Probably her slowest game so far, but between these two teams, you know exactly what happens. Although nothing to say.
That's a very nice spear from New.
Jeez.
Yeah, they knew. And nothing to say, we'll die another time.
Wait. Why is nothing to say to one stealing wisdom runes here?
That's a good question.
Why is it your mid?
That is a very good question.
Alright, I mean, sure, he finds it. That's not worth your mid, but he makes it work somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's space from nothing to say, right? Like, he already has his blink, he's trying to go Ecto Saber. He can still join these fights without that next item. They just want some free room for JT to really build up, and Monet to really build up as well. You've got the blink on JT, the Veil on its way into the Shivas for him, and that's when it should really get going. Honestly, the double blink should be it, but again, LGD are also dodging out, so it's an arms race, Mike. It's all about getting that investment into the cores and seeing who comes out on top in the Dota2 stock market.
Oh, Monet is currently, I mean, he's going to the moon here, John. He's top net worth on the Luna. They're not really able to keep up too much here. Shiro is trying his absolute best on the Weaver. We'll have the Desolator soon, but has not gone for any kind of farming items, so chances are the Luna will just continue to take off when it comes to the net worth department. I mean, it is going to be a rather passive game, though, if this keeps up. That both teams just going to accept the farm game, it seems.
Pretty much. Would you call this a bull market or a bear market in the game right now?
Well, it depends what team you're referring to, John. Which team would you like me to comment on?
I don't know, whichever you feel like. What would you call this state? Bull or bearish?
I actually don't know. It is quite, you know, nothing's happening. It's like a weekend, isn't it? It's just a weekend. The market's closed right now, John. Nothing's happening.
Well, at least Roshan begins for the side of G2.iG, but the side of LGD already smoked up, and the right spot to try to contest as well. But the mines will also spot them, so do they fully commit? Who knows?
I mean, LGD, they're coming. Roshan's still healthy enough for them to make it in time. You cannot afford to hesitate, though. We'll run into X-Nova and Baboka, so they found both supports in a very nice arena. Roshan still happening, but Setsu, oh, he hits a wall. He hits a wall. He doesn't roll right into the pit. Doesn't really matter. Monet, he will pick up the Aegis, but doesn't get the TP away. The spear from New landing right on the edge. That'll be the secondary life of Monet, going right down the toilet. New with a double kill. That's pretty bad news if you're G2.iG.
Yeah, you banked everything on that return from Roshan. Now you get nothing for your efforts. Secondary life is gone to waste. You couldn't find any trades in exchange. A quick retreat leaves their big core behind. And LGD back in the game. Their stocks are rising. Look at Mew. He's popping off, although.
Well, they got Shiro there for a moment. Problem is JT could not quite finish off the job because he was stunned by PYW. So now the chase is on for the Lion, but the Lion even blinking away. We'll make it out for now. Nothing to say. I believe may have spotted him there for a second, but no. JT still on the chase. PYW, another stun out. Plenty of space being created. He'll have to blink back up in 1 second. And he does pop it back the other way, now going west towards the Twin Gate. But nothing to say, we'll get him. Earth Spike though. PYW. What a menace. He made them work for that one. They managed to find a space to just casually shove in top with Mew. And this Mars is certainly investing in something good here. Going up on top once more. And the side of G2.iG,
You know, it's with these kinds of games, it's just a intention coil just waiting to be sprung. And it springs the wrong way for G2.iG. LGD, 2k up, are set to just keep this momentum up. They've got a ton of damage coming in with Setsu and his full defusal up. Interesting to see him going for the Manta here as well on the Pango. Just looking for a way to remove Corrosive Haze, I suppose, from being a menace onto him and get some dodge potential up against, I suppose, the Bushwhack from Baboka. So a little bit off the norm for the Pango, but it's good stats, good damage anyway. And again, allows you to kind of scout around, clear out the mines as well. I suppose that's one big benefit here for Setsu.
Big group up here from G2iG. The mid lane they go. Is this going to be a smoke rotation we're looking at? I mean, perhaps. Hoping for Setsu perhaps in the mid lane. Setsu going to use the swashbuckle, but not towards the low ground, so we'll be alright. I thought they might go for a smoke, but they're just remaining grouped up as 5 around the Radiant Triangle.
Yeah, I think they're maybe expecting that aggressive move from LGD instead and setting up the punish, but again, nothing happening just yet. 3-7, 3k lead from LGD once more, but the side of G2iG aren't really out of it. I mean, most of the core-to-core head network comparisons are pretty within range of each other. The only big difference, I suppose, is Nothing Say is lagging behind, and that kind of stems from the random Wisdom Rune and the 2 deaths he had on mid. So you've managed to catapult back into the game for Setsu and take the lead. It is a little bit more painful for sure, but it's like you mentioned as well, Mike. No farming item for the Weaver. Wants to farm heroes. We'll see if they start building up some Deso stacks, but for now, they have good vision from the side of G2iG to spot top, and they just play elsewhere and keep this farm game up. It's 20 minutes. I couldn't even tell.
I mean, it is high quality Dota at the very least. You know, it is still entertaining even if there's no kills. Not so much for the F10K betters though right now. Obviously, John, they're probably not too happy the way this game has gone. LGD. They will go for the Radiant Tormentor. This is kind of the thing as well we see so often. You get one Tormentor, you go for the other one. And you already saw pings coming out towards the Dire Tormentor now, so why you Smile already getting prepped to be able to take the other one. Rest of G2iG just chill. They're just happy to play the farm game.
Yeah.
Baboka,
Same spot.
same spot.
Has nothing to say, alright.
Yep.
Okay,
Gets called out, he's down.
that's cool. A freebie. PYW will be happy with another finger stack. He's not going to ask any questions. 3 stacks already on the line. Very efficient with the fingers here. They get the best free shard you could ask for, or one of the best free shards. Magic Missile upgrade, so now you have 2 stuns coming out with the Venge. Feels pretty nice to just expand that area control. And they will maybe get started on that secondary. The bug is starting to drop that armor at the very least, so it shouldn't be too hard to melt it now. And yeah, just a few hits from Shiro will get the job done by himself. And now you get the line shard for free. Back-to-back support shards. I've never seen such a thing happen.
It's good when the game works as intended for once. It was PYW. Finally gonna have that broken mana drain shard available. Oh no, they found the Luna. Monet at least has a BKB, will be able to run, but the problem is Shiro will just chase him down with the Sakuchi. X-Nova's going to show up to try and slow them down, and that's going to be enough. So Monet will survive to see another day, but that is his 9-second BKB charge going right down the toilet.
It's a big tool to take away here for LGD. They're going to be feeling pretty glad. Makes it slightly more uncomfy for Monet to commit. Of course, 8 seconds is still pretty long, but that is one big important charge off the table. And they are still setting up down bot. They can siege quite fast against Shiro. He's got the damage with the Deso. Mind you, it's a 0-charge Deso now at 22 minutes, which we've seen our Weavers kind of struggle to build early Deso charges. Just by nature of the game, they tend to just dodge each other out. Still, early siege begins from LGD. Entire team is there to back them up. And G2iG will just have to give it away. And without the Stampede, it's not going to be the safest thing to try to defend. And they just let it go. Cut their losses.
Absolutely. Do they keep going high ground, LGD? Are they feeling confident enough for that? Maybe just a T3 tower in the back. I mean, Shiro just got his BKB off the courier, so it looks like he wants to try. Do have a slight 4K advantage going their way, and they're feeling it right now. So Shiro will get right to work into that bottom T3 tower. TPs are eventually going to be incoming from G2.iG. Monet does not look like he's quite ready to fight, but they are going to jump in with JT, trying to go after New, but New will just turn right back around with a spear. Nothing to say, trying to go after the supports on the backside, going after PYW. We'll find one, we'll chase another now in the form of YU Smile and G2.iG. They might be able to go for this fight. It's looking pretty good for him. X-Nova even finding Setsu in the back. They'll lose 3 by the looks of it. Setsu trying to get away, is not going to make it out. So the high ground defense not panning out for LGD, but that is going to be a pretty big swing back the way of G2.iG.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice by LG to actually force the high ground. We don't see a lot of teams do that without Aegis or a pickoff. I think that's the first time we've seen the team just run high ground without any of that beforehand, and they do get punished. You're seeing why teams are a lot more cautious for the high ground siege. And G2.iG, yeah, they're clearly back in the game. Some really big pickups. You finally get that activity you want. A really great use of the Eclipse out for Monet. The Fortify looked a little bit shaky, as it wasn't really clearing out the creeps. Popped extra early as well, while the creep wave was pretty far out. But LGD just couldn't follow through. The control coming in on such a tight spot is just way too much. Again, it's the Hoof Stomp, it's the Slitherine Crush on top of that. It's just way too much back-to-back chain stuns with the bashes as well and the Bushwhack. It's a lot to be scared of. LGD, though, do regroup, do smoke up, want to go on that hunt. Some good pings as to where the side of G2.iG should be, but they've already teleported out.
I mean, X-Nova did, and then he realizes, wait a minute, Roshan's up. Get back over there, boy. LGD. They're going into the Roshan pit. They'll be the ones to have first dibs over this, but there is going to be a nice scan from G2.iG. They are very well aware. We'll have a smoke-on-smoke scenario. Wards placed through the top lane. Here we go. Who initiates first? JT looking to move in. He's going to get some vision with the Shiver's Guard. Roshan less than half HP. Say, having a look around in the corner, not going to find anything quite yet. Oh, meanwhile, Baboka comes in from the east. He gets just blown up, though, but nothing to say. Might just find PYW, so it's a 1-for-1 on the supports, and now JT! He finds a 2-man stun. New is gone. So is YU Smile. The buyback's being committed immediately, but they are still falling apart. LGD need to get the hell out of there. It is not the fight. And these buybacks sadly look like they may have gone to waste, because G2.iG now, they will have dibs on Roshan.
That they will. Already down to half HP as well for G2.iG. Gonna have themselves a good time here. So much damage flying out from Nothing to Say. The AoE control just kicks in. These supports, it's not like they're gonna have debuff immunity anytime soon, if at all. So you just managed to blow them up so quickly. And it looked a little bit rough for Baboka to just get caught out, but it doesn't matter. The core of your team is in the right spot. And the angle, again, being found, dodging out that ward in front of the pit, just gave a clean angle for G2.iG. Take the 5k lead themselves, 9-9 now. Siege onto the tier 2. And with the Aegis on G2.iG side, high ground is a possibility if they decided to take that risk. And it looks like they'll just play it safe. Just shove it in with illusions. Look for another pick-off with a smoke first. They've got a couple of wards watching lane, but nothing in the triangle to really figure out, but should have a rough idea as to where they're trying to recover here.
Can they find Shiro? They're going to have to take YU Smile first. Shiro's going to be okay to back off. But at this point, like G2.iG now just smothering LGD. LGD really losing the advantage they had earlier on, just from that one high ground attempt. Even Setsu now losing a courier with the Shiver's Guard recipe on it. A real damn shame. Not going to have that for another 2.5 minutes, and it feels like G2.iG, they could just take these final outer towers, and maybe they could even think about high ground now with the Aegis up.
Yeah. They have a lot of coverage just for that high ground. They have the damage for it as well, just with Monet. Luna high ground is not to be underestimated at any point. And again, just cutting creep waves, playing it safe, setting up for each lane to get shoved in.
Boca, oh, misses the bushwhack. Setsu's alright, gets the Rolling Thunder off.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I suppose you do waste Rolling Thunder, but you also commit Stampede. A little bit of a shame there for Baboka, it was right on the edge. Doesn't matter though, G2.iG still get the mid-tier 2 tower. In fact, JT's found himself a target. It's going to be New on the Mars. He does need a little bit of help though. New going to blink TP away. Looks like he will be fine.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yep. Manages to bail out in the nick of time. I don't think you're missing out on the high ground opportunity here anyway for G2.iG. As, again, like they popped Stampede. It's a little bit risky to go high. And just play it safe. Farm up. Again, they have really good forward wards here from the side of G2.iG. Easy enough to find a pickoff. Like, this vision they have in that mid lane is massive.
Oh, that's a nice bushwhack.
There we are.
Yeah, Sensu this time around will get caught by Baboka. A very nice observer ward in that tree line. Just scouts out Setsu in that same area. This time, though, they will catch him. He's down for about a minute. G2.iG certainly could think about pressuring tier 3s.
Alright, they've got the room. Still 2 minutes on that Aegis in comparison. So a lot of time here for Monet to just stand up front. And I don't know where you're going to get the damage to actually kill off any of these front lines that jump in. Like, Nothing to Say and JT are just so tanky.
Oh, New gets caught a nice swap from YU Smile. The bottom tier 3 tower still going to be under siege anyway. 20 seconds without the Pango is going to make it very hard to defend.
Are fortified.
Yeah, it's an issue for LGD. Like, Nothing to Say and JT can just dive the high ground, attempt to kill, and just not be punished. Like, the damage is just lacking from the side of LGD. Maybe you can finger one down, but everyone down at once? It's going to take a few good rolls out here from Setsu.
There's a spear onto the Luna. See if they can get through the first life. Arena is down. Monet will lose the Aegis. They've got to protect Monet. G2.iG, they'll jump in. JT, he'll get hexed up immediately. Monet, he'll pop the BKB into the Eclipse, but it's really hitting nobody. Nothing to Say, trying to rush forward. Will find nothing himself, but now he's swapped in. YU Smile does at least set up onto one, but no, the cheese is going to keep him alive. New's in trouble. They are diving basically the fountain at this stage. They will look to retreat, as apparently nobody from G2.iG will die.
Jeez.
Not yet anyway. The chase is still continuing, but everyone's out. Nobody goes down. They'll get away with the bottom racks, and they can always come back another day.
Yeah, just no deaths. That's it. Just Aegis taken away for all of that. Look at that. So much damage, yet no one dying. It's a beautiful sight. 11-9, G2.iG. They're actually playing a little bit crazy. Again, Nothing to Say and JT are just diving in, knowing that it's so hard to kill them off. They did have to pop cheese there, but still very calculated risks. Nova almost dies to the Tormentor, was perfectly fine. He gets his shard now as well. So you have some really good just chain disables. 2 stuns with wide AoE. The taser on one of your cores as well. Either the Centaur or that Slardar as he jumps in. Just so much protection to cover these dives. G2.iG are starting to really pull ahead. 12k up. Side of LGD, they need more damage. And Shiro is trying to go for more of that damage. Trying to go for the Daedalus right now on that Weaver. That is one way to mitigate it. And the Weaver can start to hit like a truck with some of those crits. Would really want his level 20 talent as well. But we are still a ways off from that spike here for Shiro. You also have still that Shiva's being built up here by Setsu. Needs the Ags on top of that for the Pangolier, I want to say. Like the additional swashes with the diffusals.
PYW, you're going to get sniped here by Baboka. Down for 65. No buyback available on the Lion. They're even looking at Setsu top lane. JT is watching the Pango. Will jump in immediately. That's already half his HP gone. Setsu will go into the Rolling Thunder to try and protect himself. We'll be alright to get away, but now with the Rolling Thunder down and the Lion down, they could go high ground again.
Only the coverage of something like Age is missing, but frankly, it just doesn't feel like they need it. Unless Monet, again, just gets focused down severely, but it's got the damage to just take care of these objectives so damn fast.
Oh, NTS is in. JT set up perfectly. YU Smile already gone. You dropping so down low on the Mars, trying to back towards the fountain, but he is gone. This is becoming a much harder defense as the bodies drop. And only one Rax is left standing. They'll go for it right now. Nothing in the way of stopping this. In fact, jump in again from JT onto the Weaver. There'll be no follow-up. They are just going for the Mega Creeps. JT, oh, nice arena drop by New, but where's the follow-up? Damn it, it's just not going to come out. New is gone, so is Setsu. Shiro's not looking too healthy. He'll time-lapse away, but it's all over. GG is called. G2.iG. I mean, it was looking rocky for the first, say, 15-20 minutes of the game, but at the end, LGD, they make a very awkward high ground attempt through the bottom lane, and it really did cost them, because after that high ground attempt,